Hello everyone, I'm Havoc and this is Factorio Space Exploration Plus. Now, today we're going to do something a little different. I usually do a lot of stuff off camera in between episodes and then I do a little recap and bring you guys back in and start going. But I figured this time, for this episode, I will do the stuff I would normally do kind of off camera and in the background and just, talk while we're there, because we are about to get into space and other planets and primarily the meat of space exploration. And in order to do that, we need a few things. Last time we crafted our thruster suit, but we haven't put anything in it really. We got a couple of life supports. We need to create the items that are going to go in this grid to help us and get some things running, and we're going to talk about what we're going to do. I will pull up Novice Orbit and view the surface just while I explain this real fast. So this right here is scaffolding. It's essentially the ground in space, and you have to expand this in order to build. You have to put it down to build it, and it gives you a little bit, 200 of it, and then 100 of this fancier platform piece that you move quickly on. But we're going to need to produce that, not only so we can expand up here, but also for the science. You see it takes the third item down, one space platform scaffolding, and it produces 8 science packs, and it requires empty barrel, solid rocket fuel, solar panel, vulcanite block, which we haven't got into yet, machine learning data, and chemical gel. The machine learning data will have to be made in space with the chemical gel as well, the whole setup there, but everything else will be shipped up there, and we'll get into that. But before we can get into that, we have to be able to survive in space. That's the button I'm looking for. Trying to get back to the regular map here. So we're going to have the life support, but we also need to power these things. You see they consume 100 kilowatts a piece. We're probably going to want maybe some roboports. There are no biters in space or anything that can hurt you, so I don't think you really need shielding or lasers. But you're going to want to get some batteries, some power production, and probably some roboports. I can finally move into getting actual roboports. And we're going to start with the most important thing first, and that's going to be a power source. Now I have the portable RTG in here, and that one is going to require 50 blue circuits, 50 low density structures, and 4 uranium fuel cells. It is a 4x4, which means we will be able to fit 2 of them if we wanted to, but I don't know that we'll need 2. They produce 300 kilowatts a piece. We're going to be using 200 kilowatts for our life support systems equipment here. So if I do, I will definitely want a belt immunity equipment. That's another 100 kilowatts. We may do 2. We're going to do 2 just so I don't have to worry about not having enough power. We're going to need some batteries. I'll just start crafting 5 for right now, and we'll see how that fills out the grid for our thruster suit. And we're going to run up here and grab some of the uranium fuel cells that we are building. 50 is way too many. We only need 2 of these, or we need 4 apiece, so let's put some of those back. There we go. Because I'm going to need to make some of these for my own power armor, I will keep the 20, because that will make 5 of them. So that's what we'll do. I'm going to need some blue circuits and low density structures. It's pretty easy. We're right beside most of it. I can steal some blue circuits from right here. There's 1. And 2. We'll stop at that for right now so we can go ahead and place them. And our batteries in the thruster suit. So I'll probably do 4 batteries. That's the regular battery, not the battery equipment. Personal battery. And then maybe 4 robo ports. I need to grab some iron gears. Don't like to handcraft a lot of those. What are we lacking? Batteries. That's an easy fix. There's a big line of them right here. There we go. And that should be... Where are we getting hit at? Interesting. It's because we took out the nest and now our pollution is just expanding further out. That's okay. We've got a solution for the biters. There. Now none of this will charge because I'm not wearing it, but the equipment grid is set up. And when we get ready to go in space, we'll put it on a little bit early so it can charge everything up for us. And you know, I said I wanted a belt immunity. However, there's not a whole lot of room. Once I unlock the battery Mark II, I'll probably go to having a couple of them, maybe 3, and then I'll put a personal belt immunity equipment right there where that personal battery is. And there's better thruster suits as well. If we look in the technology tree and put thruster, you'll see there's a thruster suit 2, 3, and 4. This is very in-game, down the road. It takes fully advanced science change from a lot of different things. But to get to the second one takes the intro rocket science and intro material science, and that's not bad. And it'll give you a larger grid. You see, the equipment grid size is a 10 by 10 instead of, I believe this is an 8 by 8. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, this is an 8 by 8 grid, and it says it right down here. Grid size 8 by 8. So it'll give us 2 more rows and 2 more columns extra, which will allow us to fit more in when we upgrade to that. But now that we have that set up, we're looking good. I want to check on our life support canisters themselves, because that's what will actually keep us from suffocating. We're good here. So we have enough that we can grab those. That will be hours worth of oxygen and life support once we get into space. So now we're going to look at how are we going to get to space. We need the cargo rocket sections, and we also need to make some logistic chests here. A space capsule, which is this little beauty right here. We need just one of them. So what I'm going to do here is not have an output for this. I just want it to request what it needs and then give it some power and make one and hold it right here, because you don't need a whole lot of them. Later on, when you're making multiple rockets, you can eventually have these things set up to launch automatically when they reach a certain level of inventory fullness, or when they receive a signal from your logistics network. So you can set it up an automated transportation, and you'll need more then. But for right now, I'm only going to be making one rocket and shooting my happy hind end up into space to our platform up there, so I can leave that running. The other thing we need is the cargo rocket sections, and the cargo rocket sections require heat shielding, low density structures, rocket control units, the cargo pods, and the rocket fuel tanks. So we already upped our production of the red circuits that will help with this. Now we just need to get each of these different items down here. And the only one that I see right now that we're not making and storing are the iron chests and the storage tanks. Excuse me, and the pumps. So we got 3 items that are not being produced automatically, and those are pretty simple and easy fixes. This takes steel and iron to make storage tanks. The pump takes electric motors, pipe, and steel. So we have all of these things right here. What we're probably going to do here is bring these out a little bit so that there's room, and then automate the production. I need pipes as well, which means I will need some iron coming out here. And I'll figure out where exactly that's going to go in just a moment. What I might do is... this one just takes plates and steel. I could set that up right here. Long-handed, grab the iron and grab the steel. Setup completed. Power it up. And then I'll figure out where I'm going to take these out in just a minute. The only issue with that is it's a little bit slow grabbing the iron. Let's do 2. Perfect. Because I'm not going to need these pumping out insanely fast. But a little bit of speed is good. Now we need to get pumps. That's going to require pipes, which we can bring this down right here. And that spacing that I chose there is on purpose. Because what I'm going to do here is... well, and then I did the math wrong. That's okay. I can turn this up and set it right up here. So this will make pipe, and that will pass into here to make the pumps and everything else that it needs right here. So that gives us those 2 outputs, which we needed for our cargo pods for our fuel tank. Oh, and we need additional pipe for the recipe as well. So what we're probably going to do is... I'll just do another one. I have the buildings for it. And we want to power that. So now we're looking at red circuits are the only thing I'm lacking in order to produce this rocket fuel tank. So let's put our machines down. That works out well. I need to bring red circuits up to here. Something's getting destroyed. A lot of somethings. These turrets. Oh, you know what? This is not a logistics chest. That's a problem. I can change that from here, though. And then once that's placed, all I have to do is... actually, if I just grab a blueprint of one that I have set up as a logistics chest, like this, it will also grab with it the requirements. So when it places it, you see over on the bottom of the right hand side of the screen, it says filters 400 of the piercing ammunition. So as soon as that's placed, it will automatically request ammo and deliver it to the line, and that will help with this problem here because we only have laser turrets going right now. That's why they're getting so much damage done. But I need red circuits over here. We will... we're going to do just a filter stack inserter and grab them off of the line here and send them over. And we can use this line of reds that I'm grabbing to make both components that require the red circuits, the cargo pod and the rocket fuel tank. There, that's completed. We are producing the rocket fuel tank. Now we just need to make the cargo pod. This one's also very simple. We're going to make the iron chest right here. It's so weird to see an iron chest too. It would make more sense for it to be a steel chest because it's going to be something that requires a lot of space, a lot of volume that it should be holding. But that's okay. Now we needed fast inserters, steel, and reds. So the steel is right here. We're just going to underground this. Simple and easy. Reds are right here. We will long-handed pass into this. We're going to bring up the steel, bring up our red circuits, and then request the fast inserters, 1 stack. And now we have both of the components we need to make the cargo pod. And I think what I'll probably do is a little something along these lines. Actually, wait a minute, where's that going to place? I'm thinking it's going to put that on the bottom side. I need to see where it'll place, so let's put a couple of fast inserters in here. If my memory serves me correct, it'll be the bottom side, which means I'll need to do a little fanciness here. It takes 30 seconds for that to build. So what we can do is, regardless of what side it puts it on, just do this. I'm still curious though. I'm watching because now I'm wondering, did my brain serve me well? Will it go on the bottom side? And it seems like 30 seconds is an eternity when you're waiting for one thing to craft. Well, it's more than 30 seconds because this, yes, it went on the bottom side. This assembler has a 7.5 craft speed, so we're going to speed that right up, both of them. Get a little speed module action. So now we need cargo rocket sections right here. And they're going to need a few other things. So we're going to put down that and give it a recipe, wrong recipe, this one. And we're going to shift this over and cancel both of those. And we're going to increase this one. We'll just say 50 of each so we're not waiting on anything. It will be waiting, but it'll be waiting on these pods that are delivered via the belt. And we are going to speed module this thing. And we will use a stack inserter here. Now, that will put the cargo rocket sections in. We have a space capsule for whenever we're ready to put that in. Throw a little bit of heat shielding I had in my inventory in. And that's building. The only thing we need left, is liquid rocket fuel. And what you use here are these fuel refineries. And you use this option, 50 liquid rocket fuel, and it uses 1 solid rocket fuel. And if we run pipes to the little pipe hookup here, it will fuel this when it starts receiving the solid rocket fuel. And what I will do here is set this up. It's going to definitely need more than this later on. This will get it moving even if it is ever so slowly. We are going to ask for rocket fuel. Let's just say 100 for each of these. Now it's set to go into Novice Orbit and no specific target, just general vicinity, and that determines how much fuel you're required to put into there. Oh, also what I need to do here is on this, you have to hook up a wire and tell it not to put any more of the cargo rocket sections in once it hits 100. So you say less than 100 cargo rocket sections, because it will read 100 and then build the rocket. And if you don't do this right here, what will happen is it will just fill your rocket up with cargo rocket sections. That's a little tip there for anybody that didn't know that and you're automating this setup. But we have everything we need now to go into space, which means in the next episode, that is most likely what we're going to do. I will, off camera, let this run, build us a rocket, fuel it up, and get ready to go, grab my life support, and bring you guys back in when we're ready to travel into orbit. If you enjoyed today's episode and you'd like to see more like it, please like and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you all next time.